Hey guys, Mr. Creed here with another video for you guys about simulations and predictions today. Make sure you hit the like button, hit that subscribe button if you have not already, and enjoy the video. All right, so a simulation is a way to obtain the probability of various events. Okay, so a simulation can be like a computer-generated test, which is essentially what it is. Okay, it allows for us to represent the probability of a real-life event occurring by using an experiment with simulations. This method is often used by researchers when it is difficult to collect experimental data or when the theoretical probability is unknown. Okay. Um, so let's talk about, for example, what's happening right now, coronavirus. We don't know much about the coronavirus except that it can be contagious and it often mutates um, when it jumps from one species to another. Okay, we don't really have a good model other than China, South Korea, and Japan's interactions with the virus of how it's going to affect humans. We don't really know we don't really know how well it can. How we didn't at one point we did not really know how well it could generate or how well it could spread from one person to the next. Okay, so we at some point I'm assuming to in order to figure out how to move on about our daily life and our country's leaders to kind of change our way of life, they use what's called a simulation. Okay, so that'll be an example for that. All right, so um, a simulation can also be like flipping a quarter, could be spinning a spinner, um, those things there. I know that some calculators and your phone and all this stuff even have access to your phones that you can actually pull up uh, simulation to flip a coin or spin a spinner. Okay. All right, so let's say for number one, we're going to create our own simulation to represent the same probability as the following situations. Okay, on a multiple choice question, there's a 25% chance of getting the answer correct. Okay, well, what simulation could I perform to get the same results? Well, I know that I could spin a four space spinner to get the same outcome. So we're going to say spin a four, let's say four place spinner labeled 1, 2, 3, 4. So I can find the likelihood. I can find the same probability or have the same outcome as answering a multiple choice question as I would with spinning a four place spinner, and and I was find the chances of landing on a 1, 2, 3, or 4. Okay, number two, the weather report shows that there is a 50% chance of rain. Well, flipping a quarter or flipping a dime or a nickel or a penny or a coin all together could give us the same outcome. Okay, so flipping a coin, say flipping a coin and landing on, we'll say tails. Okay, so that would be a simulation that we could use to represent the same thing here. And actually, number two would be the same thing for number four. So there's an equally likely chance of having that a baby is a boy or a girl. So I could say the same thing. I'm gonna put same as number two. Okay. Now number three is a little different. Okay, we got an average basketball player makes 66% of his free throws. That is a interesting number because um, we don't really have anything that we could use to help us really figure out a good chance of that happening. Okay, so what we could do is that a simulation, so we could put like an online um, basketball simulation type deal where we had that we aim for the probability of getting um, hitting 66% of our free throws. Okay, so there's really not a good simulation that we could use for this right here. Okay, so I'm just going to say online simulation for the same event. Okay, all right. so let's talk about number 5. Okay, number 5 is a lot like 1 through 4, except we got 3 parts here. Okay, so Mr. and Miss Pinkerton have 4 boys. Every time people notice this, they comment about the odds of this happening. Well, I don't know if they're talking about it being a good thing or a bad thing. Okay, so we're going to find out. The Pinkertons decided to set up a simulation with 10 trials to determine the probability. So the 10 trials could be like having 10 kids. Okay, either it's going to be a boy or a girl with every trial, or with every kid you have. All right. So what simulation could be used to represent the likelihood of having a boy or girl? So I'm going to say flipping coin. So because there's a 50% chance that it could be a boy and a 50% chance that it could be a girl. So flipping a coin would be our simulation. Okay. Which outcome represents having a boy? Which outcome represents having a girl? Well, I'm going to say that a boy would equal tails and a girl would equal heads. Okay. How should a simulation be designed in order to account for 4 different children? Well, how can simulation be designed in order to account for 4 different children? Well, you're going to flip that quarter or that coin 4 times. So there's really no change. There's really no difference there. So you just say we flip the coin 10 different times to determine the outcome of the babies. Okay. So we can either, so that the likelihood, what really should happen, the theoretical probability here should be that there should be 5 boys and 5 girls. Well, if we do this experimentally, that's not always going to be the case. Okay, so we can't really account for what the children are, but the likelihood of them having 4 boys out of 10 or out of 10 trials is 4 out of 10, or sorry, still a 5 out of 10. Okay, because they still have that, they're still within that theoretical probability. What's that good word for that? That theoretical probability spectrum. Okay, so then they're still in the ballpark there. Okay, all right. Hope you guys enjoy the video. Make sure you like that button, subscribe if you had not already, and I will be posting the next video shortly. Thanks.